Hope you guys are well. Um, Warm in the East Coast today. I know other parts of the country are having a difficult time with the weather, but not here in the Northeast. Let's see who's here. Anybody here? Hi from St. John. I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce your name, but good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Um, I do this every day at 5:30 or sometimes 6. I live draw something in the news or in the culture, and we talk about it. So I think I will turn this around and do that right now. I'm in my studio in upstate New York. Sometimes I'm in the city, but not right now. For 40 years, and really lucky to be able to do that. Let's see. Are you in the frame properly? Let's see. Okay. Stand up and take a look and see if you can see this. All right. Hi, Brett from LA. Good to see you. Hi, Jason from Buffalo. Buffalo, is it cold up there? It's not so cold here today. It was nice and warm. Buffalo is a bit north of where I am right now. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to talk today about maybe you don't know this, but the White House, the new administration has something called the White House Gender Policy Council. And I think that's great that they're going to study and work on increasing, opening up opportunities for women and LGBTQ folks and restore the rights of these people. So I knew about it when they were first elected, because I think they talked about it. Kamala particularly is a fan and a supporter of this idea. If you look back at history of our country, you'll see that I think the first time it was something like this was instituted was under the Clinton administration, and Hillary, Bill's wife, was the honorary chairperson, and called the Interagency Council of Women. And it's as Hillary said about this council for this administration, it's a step in the right direction. It's something that needs to be done. We need to keep working on this because it's still not equal for women. Yes, it's better, but still not equal. So this council is going to study the intersectionality of feminism and women's rights, like in all the different areas: economics and environmental and healthcare and education policy and poverty and foreign policy. So I'm just going to draw a bunch of women here as we talk about this. Hillary was asked, there's an article in the paper today about this. Hillary was asked about this new council, what she thinks. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna make any difference? And she says it's a step in the right direction, which it is. And every step, every time we do something like this, every time we have a council or an organization or a government agency that works to help change things, it's a step in the right direction. Let's see. Hillary was saying in this article that sorry, I have to concentrate a little bit. That it's a very tall woman. You know, back when she was Secretary of State, which was what, 10 years ago or so, she would when they'd go do official business in a foreign country, they would do the official business and whatever it was, and then she'd say we're going to go to something to do with women's rights, go visit a factory that's doing really great things for women or whatever, and her staff, or the not her staff but the people that she's there with, would sort of, not literally, but roll their eyes like, oh, yeah, there she goes again. And I think that's much different now. I don't think of course, there are some people that still feel that we don't need to pay that much attention to women, but I think that's changing. I'm writing a book right now about the women cartoonists of the New Yorker. It's a history, and I'm interviewing a lot of women cartoonists, and so it's interesting for me to hear, particularly some of the younger women, give me their thoughts about drawing about feminism or writing feminism. Some of them, like I asked them about the old adage, that I sort of grew up in my particular generation, hearing that women are not funny, women don't have a sense of humor. Yet still, I became a cartoonist, so I ignored it. But it was something, and I don't know that it's much of anything anymore. But some of these women say yes, they feel it is, that there's still a belief out there that women aren't funny, and it goes along with so many other um, uh, professions, that women, are not up to the task. They're not supposed to do this. It's not ladylike. It's not in their, in their makeup, whatever. Um, the other thing about this council that Biden and Harris are setting up, or have set up, is being run by Jennifer, being co-chaired by Jennifer Klein and Julissa Reynoso. Is that they're going to try to restore America as a champion for women's rights, which we have sadly not been doing for the last 4 years, and that makes me very happy. It's a global problem that we have to be a leader. We should be a leader. So I'm not going to put the right number of stripes in here. I'm just making this up, but put a little color in here. See what you guys were saying, if anything he was here. I can see that my power mode is low. I'll plug this back in. Hello, Haley from Sydney. I'd love to go to Sydney. I hear it's hot in Sydney right now. Hi, Cleveland. Michelle Alexander from Cleveland. Jason Wallace, I saw you earlier from Buffalo. Yeah, tell me where you're from, guys, if you're watching. I'm broadcasting on a new app called Haps. If you're coming from somewhere else, if you're coming from Reddit or Facebook or something, Haps is where I'm broadcasting, and Haps simultaneously broadcasts on all these different platforms. So it's really great for someone like me that I can do one broadcast, and it gets a lot of different people to join. And Haps is a new startup. I was invited to be a part of their platform, or work with them in broadcasting over the summer, and it's really been interesting. You can download the app on your phone and get your own page, and then you can follow me and get notified when I go live. I'm live 3 days a week on at 5:30 or 6, sometimes 6 o'clock. Today I went early. and I live draw something on the news. I was doing a lot of politics there for a while during the election, and I always do things on women's rights. Um, that's what I'm doing today. I wanted to talk about this. So what I was going to say about women and humor in this book that I'm writing about women cartoonists at the New Yorker is that I've been there 40 years at the magazine at the New Yorker, and I've been through a number of editors, all of them men, except for one. Tina Brown was a woman, is a woman. She's still alive. Um, and now the New Yorker has a woman cartoon editor, which is really great, and she's doing a lot of interesting things. So that's not to say that I was brought into the New Yorker as a cartoonist under a man, Lee Lorenz and William Shawn, and there's many feminist men out there that are advocates for women. Many. We're very lucky. More and more every day. But having a woman in power brings a whole nother level to the table in that many men, as I said, are feminists, and they are advocates for women, and they can write and draw about women's rights very effectively and very significantly and very strongly. But there's nothing like a woman's experience of being a woman and having lived. I'm trying to get some color here. Lived in the world as a woman. Oh, my colors are not cooperating today. No, there's purple. Still not working. I'll have to work on it later. Just not working. Maybe I'll use my colored pencils. And these are great colored pencils because you can go back in and make them into watercolors. Anyway, so where was I? Putting a woman in charge now, particularly now, maybe not so much 10, 15 years ago. It depends on the woman, of course. It's going to change things. A woman is possibly, depending on, again, on the leader, is going to be able to publish work that is very, very, very personal, very powerful, and maybe subversive, that a woman creates. So now we have a woman who's a cartoon editor, and yes, her boss is a man, and he's an advocate. He's a feminist, David Remnick. I've never asked him that, but I assume, judging from the way he's working with Emma, the cartoon editor, to bring in so many more women cartoonists. And there's many women cartoonists producing really interesting and powerful work in the magazine. And many of them are doing just cartoons about life and not about feminism. They're just drawing cartoons about, owning a dog or what else? Sorry, I'm having to think about the colors now. I'm not concentrating on my words. So back to the Women Council on Gender. It's got to do some work. It's got to be, every time you do this, it's going to get better. And hopefully we will be extending our privilege, those of us, particularly white women in America, to those abroad that around the world that need help. That's a weird color. It's not quite what I wanted. I don't have my watercolors right now because I left them in the house. I had them because it was so cold. I was not able to paint over here for the last week, and I forgot to bring my watercolors. So I'm working with a limited number of things right now. Um, let's see. We sort of all have to work together. The feminist movement has typically been dominated by white women, and that's not right. Um, historically, it's got to change, and I think it is changing. Just have to keep talking about it. Oh, look at all that. Um, all right, I'm going to stop soon. I've seen a lot of change in women's rights. When I started, I was a cartoonist. I was a feminist. I grew up right after the the Gloria Steinem's second wave, um, and so I was very fortunate to follow in their footsteps. Not an activist feminist, but I would let's see. I benefited, particularly as a white woman. But I've seen a lot of change. For the good. Let's see. Everybody's pretty much colored in now. Yeah, so like I said, HAPS is a great thing. You can join HAPS and follow me and a lot of other journalists, and there's a lot of other artists on HAPS. Let's take this down now. I can see comments made on Reddit. Sorry, I just wasn't looking at the comments. I can see comments on Reddit and wherever else you're coming from. I just can't see comments and draw at the same time. Maria from Spain, hello. Hello, Yassine from St. Petersburg. Yeah, it's cold. Not too cold here right now, but it's going to go cold again tomorrow. You can follow me. You can also become my sponsor if you want. If you look on my homepage, you can see the sponsorship. There's too much. Look at that. That's charcoal. And you can also give me awards as you're watching me broadcast, which is nice. This is a way to support artists and journalists through HAPS. It's a great new app. I encourage you to check it out. If you're not on HAPS at the moment, you might be coming in from Reddit or Facebook. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about the Council on Women and Girls. Sorry, no, it's called the Council on Gender Policy. The old one was under Clinton. Let's see, under Obama it was called the Council on Women and Girls, and under Clinton it was the Interagency Council on Women. So every little step helps. All right, I'm going to turn this around and say goodbye. I'm frozen. I seem to be frozen. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm frozen. Anybody there? Oh no, there it goes. A lot of people join. A lot more people joining. Ah, there we go. Oof, bright light. Okay, thank you for joining me. I do this every weekday or 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. something in the news or the culture that we're talking about, and I live draw something and talk about it. So thank you for joining me. I hope you guys are well, wearing your masks, and we're going to get through this pandemic. If you know, can't be soon enough. Thanks, guys, for joining me. See you tomorrow at 5:30.